Hello, welcome to another edition of Chris Speaks. I'm your host, Chris Thompson. Alright, so I have a favorite congressional candidate. His name is Oliver Larkin, and I like him for many different reasons. He's running for Congress for to represent the state of Florida in one of their congressional zones, whatever they call them. Okay, I'm not even going to try to think of it because sometimes I can't figure out the right words. But anyways, so he's running, and one of the reasons I like him the most is because he makes Fox News hosts lose their shit. Like, it's funny because they'll ask him the stupid, silly questions they like to ask, and they'll try to catch him off guard, and he will just literally stick to his talking points. He will stick to the issues, and they'll try to catch him, and he'll just state facts, and at a certain point they'll just start being weird and acting silly and just even being straight out mean, and then they'll suddenly run out of time, and they'll just start being mean and acting like coming up with some of the craziest, silliest questions they could possibly ask them. And on this one show where it's like a panel of people and they're talking to him, and they basically got mad at him and then said that he should go run for the president of Cuba, that he'd be welcome there more than, it's Fox News. It's not even like can we, I obviously probably wouldn't watch conservative news anyways, but could we actually get news? If you could have a news program that's actually news and it's not filled with a bunch of misinformation, sure, get one point of view and get both point of views, but actually do news. Like, even CNN doesn't do news anymore. So anyways, what's the guy? I can't even think of the host. I think they got rid of him for a while and they brought him back. It's got kind of longish hair where I don't think it's below the collar, but it's like kind of long on top, gray hair. It's a kind of douchebag, but I know I didn't do research because, whatever, it's Fox News, why do I care? But he's this one guy who's been on there for quite some time, and he just was being a total jerk to him, and he's that's funny because he pisses them off just by not doing anything. He's not being mean. He's not doing anything. He's just stating the facts, and they can't stand it. They can't stand that he states the facts. Okay, so a little background on Oliver Larkin. So he got his start in advertising for campaigns, so political campaigns, and he really got his start. He did campaign videos, campaign advertisements for Bernie Sanders, which makes sense. And he said that that's how he got introduced to the DSA, or the Democratic Socialists of America. And to translate to paranoid Republican, it's I've got to say it correctly. It's but once again, you have to say it like that, and I had to add the effects, which hopefully I can find the effects that'll make it sound like that. But anyways, so oh my God, the S word. So it's this idea that you have to be completely and totally pro-capitalist, which means basically against the American people, because what do you see? What do we see? This corporate capitalist system that is failing the rest of us. Okay. And it's like, okay, so what do we do about it? And so the DSA people are trying to do something about it. They're running as Democratic candidates, and not all of the candidates that are running on the Democratic side that are the ones that are exciting. Not all of them are DSA. Some of them don't even think of them as socialists, but they're running on a lot of the same campaign, a lot of the same ideas. Because I mean, the economy has been going on a downward slant for like a long time. I mean, because think about it, my parents, if you want to talk about how things have gone down, they raised 4 kids, 4 of us, right? My dad was he was the produce manager of a grocery store, a chain. So it was a big chain, so it wasn't like some like piddly mom and pop shop. But I mean, it's grocery store, so it's not like he was getting a lot of money compared to, in percentage wise, to now. He was making a hell of a lot more. And my mom was an LVN working psych in California. That's where we used to live. Now we're here in Texas, and it's way different, man. I mean, there's some things that are good, like where I live, I don't really have to worry about, I don't have to look over my shoulder as much like I did in Southern California. And that just happens to do with, I mean, poverty levels, because let's face it, in California, all the money's in Hollywood. The rich people all have it, and the rest of us are somewhat impoverished. I mean, my parents weren't, but we lived in a house in a neighborhood. The neighborhood was okay, but around the neighborhood was a bad neighborhood. And there were always people doing bad stuff. And it had nothing to do with being democratic. It's just how things are when there you have one group of people that have all the money. The rest of us have to fight for crumbs. So what was my point? Oh, my point was, so they were raising 4 kids on their salaries. And so we weren't poor by any means. I think we were very working class, and the working class was still a bit vibrant. So we had great birthdays. We had great Christmases. We never went without. You couldn't do that nowadays. Hell, you couldn't even raise 2 kids on the salaries from those 2 jobs. And it's sad, and it's getting worse and worse, and people in my generation and the younger generations aren't being able to own homes, especially places like Texas where the tax levels are way high. And I know, well, see, I am a Tallarico supporter, and he's really cool for Texas, but I like the Oliver Larkin guy a lot, because he's got spunk, and he doesn't, it's not like some people where he doesn't get attitudes with him. He just keeps doing the same thing. Oh, the one thing that made me laugh was they kept talking about something, because they were talking about illegal immigrants, and they said something about child rapists, and he turned to them and said, well, if you're worried about child rapists, then we really gotta hold our president, who's a pedophile, we need to hold him accountable. Or the pedophile in Washington, something like that. I didn't have the exact words, but he had spunk. And it's because, you're like, well, that's not nice. Well, Trump's not nice. The people on Fox were nice. And there's a lot of evidence. I mean, Trump recently had to have a big payout to this woman who, in civil court, they found him guilty of sexually assaulting her as a minor. So yeah, the only reason he didn't, well, I don't know, he probably wouldn't go to jail for anything anyways, but there's what's the thing they call it? It's the statute of limitations on rape, and even rape of children it runs out, and it shouldn't run out. They should be held accountable for forever. But civil court found him liable. So that's pretty close to have as much evidence as we can have that says he's done stuff to underage girls. and he probably did it to a lot of underage girls. Well, anyways, back to Larkin. So he got started in with like I was telling you about, doing commercials and advertisements for campaigns, and he met Bernie Sanders, and so that's where he's got the same kind of feel and the same kind of like approach as Bernie Sanders is. Don't get me wrong, he doesn't have the adorable personality that Bernie Sanders has. But Bernie Sanders has this great personality. He's like this old grandpa, like you just can't be mad at Bernie Sanders, you know. The one thing is, okay, so there's one thing, it wasn't Fox, it was some Channel 10 something. It looked like a public access cable station, if there's such a thing, because it looks like it, because it has the same kind of like backdrop of a little news thing, and it's got one person that this looks the same as the set when I actually did a internship at this like public access cable station, even though it really had absolutely nothing to do with what I had gotten a certificate in. It was back when it was the whole thing of multimedia, but multimedia is not a thing anymore. Now you got to get a more advanced degree. It'd be more something as computer graphics, and computer graphics kind of has a big variety of things that it encompasses. But anyways, it looked like that. And so she's talking to him, and when it was on like things about the economy and stuff, she was spot on, and she was being fair to him. And then she started talking about talking about Israel and our support for Israel, and everything he said was spot on. But she kept saying that, oh, that's actually factually incorrect, and that's factually incorrect. And it's like, maybe it's factually incorrect if you're going by the alternative facts of the Trump administration, and you go by the facts of even what the Democratic Party was supposedly saying was factual like a couple of years ago. But the whole thing is, it's like, you want to say that this isn't true, and what Israel has been doing in this current war that's been going on for what, like 3-4 years now? So, and they've killed so many people. Actually, it might have been only 2 years. I don't remember. It feels like it's 4 years, but it's been several years. It's been at least 2 to 3 years. So, and remember, I don't know if you can find the videos now, because we know how the internet, they kind of YouTube probably got rid of them. Don't take that as a factual statement. It's just an assumption, because there's a lot of stuff that I had seen back in the day that were things of what the Israeli government people were saying, and you can't find them anymore. But my point was, we've seen the damn what's it called? Come on. The genocide. The genocide was live streamed, and we saw what they were doing. And to say that they weren't targeting women and children mostly, and that they weren't blowing up hospitals and schools, and they weren't murdering children playing soccer, that was true. And the only thing she said that was correct was that in 2018, Palestine wasn't there wasn't a Palestinian state, which I don't understand, because what he said had nothing to do with that. And so that's the only factual thing she said, even though it had nothing to do with what he was saying. She was trying to have a gotcha moment when she had nothing to go on. Well, so anyways, like I say, you should check out Oliver Larkin and some of these interviews. A lot of them are here on YouTube, so check it out and see why he's one of my favorite people, excuse me, that's running for Congress. And he's standing up for everything. He's standing up for the working class. He knows that everybody wants things to get better. It's like this idea of that people are worried about this and this and that. Right now, people want the same thing. it doesn't matter if you're a Republican or a Democrat, liberal or conservative. Most people want the same thing. Most people, they want a home, most likely a house that they own themselves, to be able to afford, have a job that's enough to be able to afford the house and the repairs for that, be able to live comfortably, not have to worry if they're gonna have enough money to eat. And a lot of us, like, okay, so me and my girlfriend, we are on disability because we have mental illnesses. Mine is bipolar disorder, so it makes it really hard for me to even function in reality half the time. By what I mean by that, I don't mean like I mean, if I was not on medication, I would not be in reality. I would lose track of reality, and I would be in some like paranoid delusion. And so we get disability, and it's not much. And what sucked was this year they finally had raised up our money, and we thought, oh, we're finally going to be okay. They did that. The rent didn't raise, and then the dumbass orange idiot got us into a war with Iran. And guess what? Everything the experts said would happen would happen. Because they controlled the Strait of Hormuz, they would shut it down. They would not allow shipping in and out of it, and it would screw up gas prices and prices of everything else. And that's exactly what happened. And now we have these people running for Democratic. Some are running for the midterms, so they're running for Congress or Senate, and it's exciting. They're people that seem to really care about the people, and they really want to make changes. And one of the biggest things the media can find against them is their connection to Hassan Piker. And usually they're taking you want to talk about taking stuff out of context, taking Hassan Piker's stuff out of context. Like, there's a part where I've heard the claim, and then I finally saw what it actually was, that he had said something about wanting to that he hated black people and wanted to reinstate Jim Crow and lynch people. He was reading what someone was a post someone posted on his whatever you want to call it on Twitch. So he's reading it, and I guess my light went out. So you're gonna have to deal with bad lighting right now. So I guess I'll close it out. And so, hey, you guys want to check this guy out? I think he's cool. I think you'll like a lot of these candidates. I can't even think of the people off the tops of my head, the top of my head. So, and a lot of them, it's their connection to Hassan Piker, or because they're Muslims, you have these idiots on Fox News saying that they're jihadis and they're going to kill all Jews. That's prejudice. You're I would say racist, but Islam is a religion. But most people, idiots like that, they think that all Muslims are Arabs. Not that Arab is even a thing. They lump a bunch of races and stuff and together just because they speak Arabic. So that's what an Arab is. There's no Arab race. It doesn't exist. But anyways, they're like doing prejudiced things, like ridiculous stereotypes on people who are actually trying to make a change just because of what their religion is. So screw all those guys, and I'll see you guys later. So take care, and try not to go crazy paying too much attention to the news. And that's why I kind of haven't been doing videos for a while, because it's been just I can't watch too much news. I was doing it for a while. I was doing all those videos, and it got to the point I just couldn't. I was getting too angry, and I just had to take a step back for a while. So you guys take care. Don't let the news get too crazy, make you get too crazy, okay? If it pisses you off too much, just take a step back. If it stresses you out, take a step back. Watch some TV. Watch something entertaining. Don't let all this crap with these chuckleheads in Washington. See you guys later.